Okay, everybody. I hope that you are doing well. Check it. So I uploaded a video earlier about the pay disparity regarding Drew Sidora and her soon-to-be ex-husband Ralph. And it was reported that Drew's income, she makes $12,000 a month, while he makes $71,000 a month. Okay, really over $71,000 a month. And it's very, very interesting. It really is. So, checking here, it turns out, and I thought for a minute, I was like, well, was Ralph ever her manager? Because I noticed these men seem to get with these women, and then here comes the come up. Okay, here comes that come up. So learn as you go. We had the same question, sis. She mentioned, how does Ralph make 71,000 per month? Listen, this may be it right here, because I'm like, my gosh, is he selling that many books? Check this out. It says here, based on this article, Ralph went behind Drew's back and was secretly receiving 40% of Drew Sidora LLC. Hold the phone, ladies. Put down your teacups. That's not all. What? You see um, on the screen here, the title. Secretly was receiving 40% of Drew Sidora LLC. But hold on. That's not all. That was on top of what she was already paying him. Here we go. It says, have you guys looked at Ralph and Drew's divorce case? Apparently, Ralph had Drew sign a tax document that she didn't double check and unknowingly signed over 40% of Drew Sidora LLC. So he was secretly receiving an additional 40% of her income on top of the 50% Drew was paying him willingly. Let's try it again. Say it again for the ones in the back. He was secretly, it says, secretly receiving an additional 40% of her income on top of the 50% Drew was paying him willingly. In the new trailer that Barbara released, you hear that Ralph is trying to claim ownership of her LLC. It's just crazy that nobody's talking about it. I'm talking about it. And I remember her saying that he wanted to, try to claim, get her business, try to own it. And I was like, what? And she was leaving an event in the vehicle. She was talking about that. So stop and think. Let's see if my math is right. How the hell is she paying him 50%? So basically, he eating off Drew. So you look up, she's paying him 50%. Talk about sleeping with the enemy. Honey, if this is the enemy, I don't know what is. That's why a man needs to have his own. If not, it's going to more than likely go wrong. One more time, it says he was secretly receiving an additional 40% of her income on top of the 50% Drew was paying him willingly. So why the hell should she pay him 50%? And it's like when she released her album, at first he was working with her on it. I think when that song she debuted about him, he threw it all away. Why are you giving him credit? Because I was thinking to myself, what does he do? Paying him 50%? Wow. So basically what it sounds like, he living off Drew, which I highly suspected that from the beginning. Again, what does he do aside from writing a book? Did the book make the bestseller list? And out of all that, I can't, this is, he was secretly receiving, it says, an additional 40% of her income on top of the 50% she was paying him. Girl, why are you paying him 50%? Drew, were you playing Barbara the Builder? Why were you paying 50%? And now look, he got a nice little nest egg, doesn't he? Wow. So is he getting 50% of her housewives' money? Is that where that money's going? And see, here's the thing about it when it comes to money. It is possible that most of her, I'm thinking what's probably happening, which is not uncommon in business, that her money that she's getting paid is probably paid to the LLC. You know what I'm saying? Paid to the LLC. And then what happens, the LLC is probably just paying Drew Sidora a certain amount. That's why I'm saying $12,000 a month. And there must be some money in the LLC because stop and think, it says here, apparently Ralph had Drew sign a tax document that she didn't double check, trusting her husband, and unwillingly signed over 40% of Drew Sidora. So if you look at it, he getting his out the gate. He's probably getting paid more from the LLC than Drew is. And she was paying him 50%. Girl, this is sounding more like a Peter Thomas. Remember Cynthia? Peter Thomas, Uncle Ben, as they called him, he didn't have any money. He couldn't even pay for the wedding. Cynthia having to call her dad, calling her sister, letting them know what's going on. This is what it sounded like. And then next thing you know, Peter Thomas married Cynthia. Oh, he got a restaurant. Bar One did Cynthia wrong, and Bar One's been gone. And I did hear, I think he got released out of jail early. Good for him. They need the women, don't they? What do you think about this? So he's probably pulling more out the PLLC than out of the LLC than Drew Sidora is. Again, a lot of rich people don't have an LLC, so all the checks go into the LLC, and then they'll pay themselves a salary. Okay, so I think that explains it right there. It's not like he's the wonderful wizard businessman. So now I get it. He's a business consultant. Yeah, off of Drew's back. So what could you do without Drew? And then on top of that, they said, and it was reported in the divorce filings, he had the audacity to ask for what? Alimony. Wow. Oh my goodness. And I wonder when she signed a paper just trusting her husband, I wonder if he did that thing where you stack the contracts. That's the old trick. You got a contract here, you sign here, or just sign here, and then you put them all together, and the person just sign, just sign, just sign. It's time to take the papers apart. And if you got a significant other and they don't want you to read, we got a problem. So I bet she did what most wives do. Just, well, what if my husband says, thinking it's okay? Girl, so this lets me know if that's the case, she's responsible for the $71,000 a month he gets. That no wonder he smiled like a chess cat. You really caught you one, didn't you? So basically, he can come off. Basically, he can become a millionaire off Drew. Wow, she didn't know she signed. Oh, that's the oldest trick, honey. He might have did that little stacking thing. Sign here. So let's see, $71,000 a month, and it's 12 months in a year, right? So basically, he's getting $852,000 off Drew Sidora. That's how you know it's some money in that LLC. I bet it's got to be millions. And so she's probably just taking a certain salary out to keep it as it is, as a lot of business people do. But look, he getting his now. Wow. So I bet all the money's probably flowing into Drew Sidora LLC, and then she's probably got herself on she'll get this much a month. I totally get it. But not him. 800, that's over $852,000 a year. All off Drew. Talk about a marriage where he's getting paid and she getting played. I gotta go. I'm still behind schedule and business things I have to do, but wow, I'm done. Let me know what y'all think about this, and I'm out.